Did you see that Mark Sanford conference?
No.
Oh, boy.
Tell me about it.
Mark Sanford apparently having a little affair in Argentina.
Yeah.
What is it with...
I called it.
Ken, well, I mean, let's be honest, Ken. I mean, at this point, the odds of a Republican elected official who has been a self-righteous, sanctimonious moralizer not having an affair these days is going down dramatically. Between him and Ensign, it's pretty amazing.
The odds are going down, although it doesn't mean that they're wrong by saying these things are wrong when you do this to your wife. I mean, I agree with you that there's hypocrisy here, but the fact that this guy says cheating is wrong and immoral behavior is wrong, just because he's engaged in it doesn't remove the fact that it's wrong. I mean, you cheat on your wife, you're going to hurt her. She could become suicidal or enraged or whatever. That's still, you shouldn't invoke those feelings in somebody else. Just because he's
I'm not pro having affairs, by married people. But I guess the point is that maybe this type of sanctimony and moralizing doesn't necessarily have a place in our politics.
Well, it absolutely smacks of hypocrisy once again, and it's fair play. The second he disappeared, of course, it was the first thing that came to my mind. He's got a girlfriend. I mean, I don't know.
Well, yeah, of course. And what's actually genuinely most irresponsible is that this guy actually let it interfere with his duties as governor. I mean, you're in South Carolina during hurricane season, and the governor's not around to be able to declare a state of emergency if something were to hit, or if there was some type of prison break or whatever it was. I mean, that's very problematic.
In his defense, I think hurricane season's about 45 days away.
Well, whether it's hurricane season or any other emergency, I mean, to leave the country without having an official mechanism to inform you and to have you run your state, I think is sort of problematic.
Well, yeah, I mean, we wouldn't want him going to Las Vegas or New York on a date, and be away from the state for any period of time when he's...
Well, no, I think actually, I mean that is actually, you know what, Ken, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, doesn't that sound ridiculous now? I mean, the idea that the president went to New York to take out his wife for Valentine's Day or whatever it was, talking about that sound that much more ridiculous and silly?
Isn't this the president, though, that said we all must sacrifice during these times? And a $250,000 date, that seems a bit elaborate. $100 a pound beef at the White House seems a bit elaborate. I don't think the president is leading here. I don't think he's leading by example. I don't see him sacrificing anything.
Well, I have a feeling that Barack Obama has sacrificed quite a bit in being president. But I mean, this type of how would him stopping smoking actually help Americans?
How can he stopping smoking?
How would his? I mean, this is what I mean, Ken. Like when you have two Republican elected officials in a month who have been sanctimonious and moralizing about these things, and frankly, I think Sanford deserves a lot more scrutiny for his attempt to reject stimulus and essentially severely hurt poor people in his state. Deserves a lot more scrutiny, probably, than his having an affair. But I mean, how can you actually continue with these silly talking points in light of this type of stuff?